Alright, what it is, Daniacs. I got a real life true tragedy story to tell you guys. I watched someone die yesterday. But stick around to the end because there's extra twists. There's more to it than just death. And I'll just start at the top. So I was just stayed the night with a friend the night before last night, and most of the day yesterday. And I went to go home. I stopped by a little store in my little town, and I saw these three ladies and a big ass truck. It was a grandma, a mom, and her granddaughter. Granddaughter, I'm guessing somewhere in her early teens or something. And I mean, I didn't think nothing of it. I was just going in the store. I had my little bubby with me in the cart, and they were all looking at my dog, like people do when I take my dogs around in the stores. And so I didn't think nothing of it, right? I start going home, and these ladies were in front of me, okay? So I got to drive really slow because I got no fucking brakes. I've had no brakes for about 8 fucking months now. I'm not trying to make a fashion statement, y'all. I just haven't had money to fix them yet. So it's either drive a death trap and try to get the money to fix my brakes, or just sit here at my property and wait to get evicted. And the second one is not a fucking option. I gotta have a home for my dogs. So, you know, I can find somewhere to stay easy, but me and 15 dogs is a different story. So anyway, I'm driving. I'm going really slow. These ladies end up getting ahead of me, right? And as I'm driving, this black kind of SUV type looking vehicle passes me, and I see it in my rear view. It kind of stops and whips around, and you know, I'm constantly, the way I was trained when I was a kid, you constantly keep an eye out what's going on around you when you drive. My mom was a truck driver, and also, you know, that's kind of some cop shit. That's kind of some shit cops will do. They'll just whip around. So I'm constantly, you know, on alert. So I just thought it was weird that this vehicle just whipped around right behind me, and I'm still driving. And way up in the front in the distance, I see this big old red truck with a big old black flatbed on it. Is a big ass truck, right? And they were stopping like way up in front of me and kind of turning around. And of course, I don't have brakes, so had they done that when I was closer to them, I'd have been fucked and I'd slammed right into them. So I was like slowing down. I was like, oh fuck, you know, because I'm constantly shitting bricks when I'm driving this thing, trying not to die, right? So I see this truck. Okay, they turn around with these 3 ladies in it that I just saw at the little store, and they start coming this opposite direction, right? And you know, I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, crisis averted. You know, I didn't run into them. But right after they passed me, coming this way, the other way, this black car that whipped around, and I was looking at it in my rear view mirror. This fucking black car just veered right at that big ass truck and drove right at them. And it was the biggest, loudest, most horrendous looking real life crash I've ever seen. From the looking at it from my rear view mirror, it looked like both the vehicles flipped, but they didn't. The one black car got totally crumpled. Which, okay, so I see this huge horrendous crash right behind me, right? But I got no brakes. I can't just you know, stop and whip right around. So I got to keep going until I get to a place where I can safely pull over. And of course, this whole time right away, I'm trying to dial up 911. Okay, so I'm dialing 911 as I'm waiting to pull over. These motherfuckers ain't picking up. I'm like, what the flying fuck is going on here? I've never had 911 not pick up. So I get to a point where I can stop, and once again, I'm trying to call 911. They are not picking up. I'm like, what the flying fuck is going on here? At this point, another vehicle kind of stops and pulls up next to me, and I tell them what happened. I'm like, can you try to call 911 because it's not going through on my phone. It wouldn't go through on their phone either. And about this time, another truck is coming up from this other way and going towards the crash site, and I flagged them down, and they pretty much stop and pull around. I'm like, yo, bro, can I jump in with you and go try to check on these girls, make sure they didn't fucking die, man? Because that was all downhill where that was. You know, I didn't want to be trying to do that in my car with no fucking brakes and then end up running into something, you know. So I jump in the car, or in the truck with this dude real quick. We go down there. That black car is fucking crumpled. That's the first thing we drive up on. We look in there, dude. There's an old ass dude all mangled the fuck up in there. Mangled, dude. He was like fuck it. His arms and legs was doing some unnatural shit. I'm like, that motherfucker's dead. Like seriously, just looking at it, I'm like, that does not look like a sign of life left in that thing right there. So right away, I'm going, okay. So the grandma is standing right in the road saying, "Fuck that motherfucker. He just ran into us on purpose." Because I didn't know what happened, but I did see him drive directly fucking at them. Like I did not know what the fuck happened. I thought maybe he lost control of the vehicle. Maybe he swerved. Something drove out in front of him. There's more to the story. Y'all stay tuned for it. So this the grandma, she's like, "Fuck that motherfucker. My grandma's hurt," or she said, my granddaughter's hurt. So I went and checked on the granddaughter. There was something up with her leg. The grandma was like, you need to pick her up and bring her over here. I'm like, hell no, I don't. That's the fucking EMT's job. I am not going to touch someone that's hurt. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And not only that, she was sitting in the seat and there was nowhere else comfortable to put her. I was like, it's going to be a few minutes before the paramedics and cops get here. We just need to let her sit there, and so, okay, so this lady says that that black vehicle, while they were driving this way, and I was kind of behind them, this black vehicle kind of swerved at him and hit the truck a little bit, as it was going this way, right? And they said that's why they stopped and turned around, because they didn't know who hit them or why. They were about to turn around to go, see if they need to fill out an accident report or something. Okay, so I'm getting to the juicy part, y'all. So as it turns out, this fucker that hit them has a history with this family, right? This guy, he was an old ass dude. He had a ankle bracelet on that I could see through when I looked at his mangled dead ass. And you're going to see why I'm being a little bit disrespectful toward this dead guy here in a second. So as it turns out, the reason why he had a ankle bracelet on is because he molested this family right here that he hit. He molested their granddaughter, the one that was in the vehicle with him that got hurt. He molested her. That's why he had the ankle bracelet on to begin with. Okay. And apparently this guy was on a fucking suicide run. He was trying to kill himself and take them out too. I don't know. I can't. I'm just saying that was a suicidal thing to do, to drive head on into a big ass fucking truck. Just physics wise, that truck's gonna win. So I think he was trying to take out that whole family along with him. So the grandma was saying, yeah, he hit us twice. He came directly at us intentionally. So the cops show up. I give them my statements. They take statements from everyone. The little girl was all right. She didn't get too seriously injured. Her leg was hurting. I think she might have got a like fracture or something. I don't think it was broken. The meds did check her out, and so the old lady she works at a Casey's, which is a gas station, and she's like, man, this is my only vehicle. I have no way to get to work. I'm like, don't worry, take my number. I'll get you in the morning. So I just got back home right now from dropping her off at work, and I was gonna take this video last night, but when I got home, I had just enough light last night to make this video. But when I got home, I came home to my own fucking problems here with my goddamn dogs. I had a couple dogs out and shit, and they got into some fights, and a couple of my dogs were fucked up a little bit. So I had to worry about that and try to get my ones that got out that are fuck faces that start shit. I had to get them back in the pen. So anyway, yeah, I totally saw a death happen last night. Fucking dude, that was the worst crash I've ever seen, and that motherfucker was mangled. Like I had my phone on me, but like I was more worried about helping these ladies than I was about taking footage of getting some rubbernecker footage for y'all. But looking back on it, I wish I did get some footage for y'all. I really do. I wish I'd peeked this little camera at that mangled motherfucker in the car real quick before they took him out of there and shit. So anyway, the paramedics were checking him out and stuff, and one of them said, he's got a pulse. I'm like, God damn, I would have bet money that motherfucker was dead. But as it turns out, he had a pacemaker in, and he's going to have a pulse, whether he's alive or not. So no, he did not make it. He did not make it. Like, my initial evaluation was correct. That was a dead-ass motherfucker, and he brought it on himself. He did a suicide run at this fucking family, trying to hurt them for turning him in for molesting their granddaughter. Essentially, it is the long and short of it I got out of it. So it wasn't just like a regular accident. It was a accident with the story behind it too. And this Spanish guy, I don't want to assume he's Mexican, but I think he's Mexican. He's pretty tall for Mexican though. But he's the one that took me down there. He was the one in the truck that I jumped in with and shit. And he was a cool guy. He was just trying to help. Anyway, you know, I saw a motherfucker die. I guess that's the first time I've ever seen someone really die like that in a car wreck. I mean, I saw it happen. It was right behind me, and I was only gone from the scene for just a couple minutes while I got this other guy to drive me down there real quick. But it was a fucked up ordeal. I got some other videos to make, but I just want to drop this quick little vlog. That's a real true life tragedy story right there for y'all. Um, that motherfucker, you know, I mean, see, all the choices we make in life lead to our death. Okay, that is the only power we have, is deciding how we die in this life. Okay, and all the choices that we make while we live lead up to that moment of that glorious moment of death. For each one of us, okay. And I don't know if there's any other overarching points I can make, but that's a real true life death story for y'all if you're into that sort of thing. I am the brightest night, I am the darkest light, and I am ascending, as are we all. Step into Dane's world, the dark light is upon you. Stay beautiful, motherfuckers.